This morning I woke up and I was on my phone for an hour. And I realized straight away that that was the biggest waste of time. I'm not happy about it. I feel guilty. I sort of feel weird, like not disgusted, but just like what was I doing, you know? What was I doing with my time? Literally just wasting it. Some of it was spent on communication, but maybe like 10%. 90% of it I was just scrolling. Doomscrolling. And I realized that each time I do this, I waste more and more time every single time I do it. So as a collective, the numbers just build up. You can never reduce how much time you've wasted. You can't get that time back. Time keeps going forward. You can't go back in time. You can't regain the years. And something just clicked in me and I was like, that's ridiculous. I can't ever do that again. But this has happened multiple times over last year. I don't know if it's because we're already desensitized to the world, or we fall into this sort of period of our life where... Because I use my phone to look for inspiration. Genuinely. I look for inspiration on YouTube, I look for inspiration on Instagram, creatively, and for this as well. I look for inspiration. I don't consider it... Most of the time I don't consider it wasting time, but this time I felt that the value I was getting wasn't worth the time I was putting in for it. And that's just going to happen. Like, I guess you can't really avoid it, but I just... Like, I felt like what I was doing was, like, illegal. I felt like I was going to get arrested for what I was doing. I was just... I guess in a way, Instagram and TikTok and YouTube has sort of created, I guess, micro porn for us. Because we get that instant satisfaction when we open our phones. I mean, I don't own a clock that has an alarm, so it's hard to not use the phone as one, especially when you travel as well. Like, I use my phone for the alarm every time. But the other thing I tried the other day was turning on the colour off on my phone. It was all like black and white. That genuinely helped a lot. So I think I'm going to do that a lot more. It helped me so much, man. Like, I don't know about anyone else, but if you have an iPhone, you can like turn the colours off on it. I know it's like weird, and everyone that does it is like... It just shows that, like, if you need to be doing that to get away from it, you don't have the discipline to be doing it, I feel. Like, I feel like that, but then at the same time, I'm like, well, you have to do what you have to do, right? Like, you have to... It's more important for you to get the job done, do what you need to do, than have to deal with giving yourself these little things to try and get away. It's like, it doesn't feel right, you know? But I realized, I'm like, shit, like, everything that we're consuming, all the content, it's sort of like micro porn. If it's not helping us and it's not giving us any value, and we're just there watching it for no reason, it's like, yeah, it's that weird, small, tiny hits of dopamine, while we don't feel like we're really enjoying it. We're enjoying it so much that we're satisfied by it. It's a weird feeling. And it's so crazy that the world's turned into this. The world went from, like, this place where you would send out letters, like, and you would get letters back in the mail to have a communication. Or you had, like, that phone that you'd, like, ring the number and you only got a certain amount of time you could talk to them with the lead, with the cord in the wall. To just being able to do whatever we want, whenever we want, and however we want to do it. So I feel like a majority of the world population is now stuck in this loop, and that's what we are. That's who we are as people. It feels like, are we even a civilization anymore? Are we even a genuine civilization? Or are we just here just for the sake of doing what we want? It's just weird. And I can't speak for the days when we didn't have that, because I grew up in this time. I'm 21, like, I grew up in this time period. I guess the early 2000s for me was pretty cool. We didn't really have a lot of that. I remember in like 2012, most people just had flip phones still. But it's only been the last, I'd say, 5 to 10 years that we've had this massive shift in how we perceive everything, how we go about life, what's satisfying and what's not. Places like theme parks have shut down. And I guess like this isn't like a, well, it is relating to self-development, in the sense that what we need to be doing is not being on our phone as much, try and reduce that as much as possible, remove all the apps we don't need, get rid of the conversations we don't need to have there, not waste our time. But it's just weird to think that we're in a civilization and that's what we do now. At least we still get helicopters. That's a good thing. That's pretty cool. Where is this thing? It's a police helicopter. See, that's exciting. Helicopters are exciting. I just got so hyped up about a helicopter just then. Yeah, so I feel like you have a responsibility for yourself, but at the same time we need to be helping each other get away from these things. So next time you're on your phone when you wake up in the morning, try and be conscious. Like, don't just open the phone. Like, if you open the phone, try and realize that I'm on my phone. Here we go. Whoa. Are we conscious? Like, are we aware that this is happening? And then after we realize that, then we'll be like, actually, put the phone down. But it's different for everyone. I hope I was able to give some value in this video. Pretty sure it's about to rain again. It's been raining non-stop in Sydney. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Alright. Enjoy your day.